Hello. How are y'all? Just waiting on this thing to on up so I can see. What is
Hi, my name is Tim Sykes. I'm a stock trader who has turned roughly $12,000 into nearly $5 million, trading all over the world. I love being able to work with everyone.
alright, daytime there.
Oh, there is a planet between the sun and the earth. Believe it or not, there is. I can see where all my settings are here. I can't. Do you guys hear me?
Oh, come on, why isn't it loading? Oh, wow. Hello. Sorry. It's taking a moment to load. Settings. Let's see. Hopefully the sound is okay. Okay. Hopefully, all I need to do live chat, not talk chat, so I can see everything. All right, settings. Sorry, I'm just hello, how are you? Good gracious. I don't know why my phone is acting so crazy. All right, so let's see what's going on. I heard there was some earthquakes in Kansas today, which is pretty. Oh wow, that's a lot of people listening to Chesapeake Fire Department. Um, uh, oh, I should have done that. I should have. All right, so let me see what I've missed in the news since I haven't been paying attention today. Good evening. Let's see. Grass and brush fire in Oregon. Um, Structure fire in North Carolina. Fully involved. Request traffic control. Shut down highway. Mm, that must be a pretty bad structural fire. says Cliffside. Anyway, so that's in Rutherford County, North Carolina. It must be pretty bad. They need to shut down highway. And then Charles County, Maryland, fire with collapse. So I guess the building is collapsed. Fort Washington, Fairfax transfer. Toronto, Canada, 4-alarm connected fire. Progress Avenue and Constantino Drive, Atlantic Packaging Recycling Plant. So it's a 4-alarm fire. In Canada. Oh, it started out as a 2-alarm fire, so it must have gotten worse. Mail carrier shot. Oh yeah, I wanted to check on that. There's a mail carrier shot in North Carolina. I think it was North Carolina today. I'm sorry, in Louisiana, that's right. Mail carrier was shot. Don't know why. They said the man that shot him had no shirt on. So I don't know if he got mad because he didn't deliver a piece of mail the guy was waiting on or what. But yeah, and unfortunately he died like within 4 or 5 hours. And I just say all that too. Oh boy, we got a tornado warning. Hold on. Tornado for Colorado. And it is Baca, Bent, and Prowers. Located 18 miles north of Pritchett or 24 miles northwest of Springfield, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. And of course, you got severe storms in Texas again, and Kansas. But you have a tornado in Colorado. And there's another warning. And it is for a severe storm in Baca and Los Animas, Colorado. So you got that moving. That's moving 50 miles per hour. The other storm is moving 30 miles per hour. And Baca is included in both of those, but one's a tornado warning, Baca, Bent, and Prowers. And then the other is a severe thunderstorm warning, Baca and Los Animas. And so those two storms might be meeting each other and getting stronger. Well, let me see. Yeah, they could, because the one's moving northeast and the other one's moving east. And the one moving east is moving 50 miles per hour, so it could catch up with the 30 mile per hour storm. It could. Oh, hey, Suzanne, how are you? I'm okay. How are you doing?
Out with the juvenile's mother.
I wanted to check on the
10-4.
shooting in Louisiana today. There was a mail carrier shot today in Louisiana. He died. I wanted to see if they caught who shot him. I guess I should have said, let's try that again. It was a mail carrier.
41 is the
Shooting a mail carrier in Louisiana today. Postal worker killed while delivering mail. Okay. I want to see if they caught the guy that shot him yet. All I know is they said he was white male and he didn't have on his shirt when he shot him. And after he was shot multiple times while on his mail route in Shreveport. The identity of the victim has not yet been released. The shooting occurred outside of townhomes around 11:30 a.m. We do believe that he was actively serving as a mailman during the time he was shot. The victim was shot multiple times in the upper body and was taken to area hospital where he later died. Police said they believe 2 suspects are involved in the shooting, but the names of the suspects have not been released. The suspects are not in custody yet. All I know is that earlier they were looking, there was one that they mentioned that was out there with no shirt on. Hanging out on your deck. I miss the days of having family and doing that fun stuff, taking them places, and then chilling out outside on the porch after everything was done. I miss all of that. Alright, let me change the subject because I'm feeling sorry for myself today and I shouldn't. Because there's people worse off than me. But I'm having one of those days.
code 4. Two copy code 415. 7, Boy William, 170. Copy 7, Tom Boy William, 170. 7 Sam, negative 29, current 2016 Volkswagen, Lieutenant Gardena, numbers 1114, 159, Las Melinda.
Huh. I'm sorry, I was reading something about another about a attack in the Dominican Republic, but this one sounds a little suspect. It may have just been I don't know. Actually, I'm not even going to comment on it. The hotel's got their side of the story, and the woman and her husband had their side of the story.
Passed by from the north side of MPB in front of the Chase Bank, a male on his knees. Not moving, but his breathing can be checked on. Possible transient.
And, you know, I don't know. It could go either way because she wants $2 million. So, you know, she could be exaggerating, and the hotel doesn't want to pay $2 million. So they could be exaggerating. I guess it'll have to play out in court.
Sir, for the deputy, I said he's possibly in pain or crying. He's kneeling down near bags. Do you want me to start fire? I'm down the street. I can advise. 10-4, almost 97. Bye.
You listen back on the channel with Super Dave.
Identify Mary?
Yeah, he's a nice man.
Identify Mary.
Identify Mary. Identify 2 Nora, 116th and Birch, 116 and Birch. It's 2 vehicles. RP's not involved. Unknown to kidney injuries.
Copy, en route.
10-4 route. 2 make further.
Oh my gosh. If these are the pictures of her, oh my goodness. She was beat up bad. Wow. Oh, it's an undated photo though. The information doesn't match.
Identify Mary. No further description. Time or information.
Copy. One red, one red, seven, seven.
1 Mary. Copy.
During the assault, her mouth was ripped apart, requiring numerous stitches. Tooth knocked out. Her nose was broken.
That's fine. I'll just do a quick around Chase. Full right to first of our GOA, quick around Chase.
Wow.
P7 Nora Union Adam 544. Negative 29 current. 15 Toyota left of Marin. 3363-134 place in our city. Go in a second.
I don't know. If those are pictures of her in the hospital, somebody beat her up.
Victor 691. Negative 29
I don't think she did that to herself. And I doubt she would have allowed that to be done. You know, it looks pretty brutal. I mean, I know, you know, they make stuff look brutal with makeup and stuff on TV for, you know, but her injuries look real, so I'm going to have to side on her side for now. Alright, let me see. Grass and bushfire in Oregon. I think I read that one already.
Island 1 Mary from Bud.
First one is going to correspond to that first plate I gave you. It's going to be 4725-4994. That's the
So they're still looking for 2 suspects apparently in the mailman murder. I don't know, maybe they were supposed to be shooting at each other and shot him instead. I don't know if they're looking for 2 and one didn't have a shirt on. Sounds like he was out of his house and mad at someone, or I don't know. Don't know what's going to come of that yet. But all the man was doing was going to work, delivering mail, and oh, so sad. So there's a tornado in Colorado, and then they got another storm coming up behind it at 50 miles an hour. That storm's moving 30. So I hope they don't hit each other and make a bigger storm. I heard there was earthquakes in Kansas, in areas that don't normally get earthquakes. But Scripture tells us that will happen. Earthquakes in diverse places. And whether it's from man doing it from fracking or injecting wastewater in the ground. Oh, yeah, naked people again. Yeah, he's got some good vids, doesn't he? Yeah, he's a nice guy. I'm glad I ran across him. It was funny how I did. So I took there's 4 or 5 different videos of this guy today. While I was trying to inch my car around town. And even tonight, I was out there. Let me cut this down some. I was out there trying to do a screwdriver test on my car, but so I got another picture, another video of this after the sun had set, and that is another severe storm for Kansas. Oh, and there's one for Georgia. I missed that one. Same areas as the last night. But anyway, you know, there's the pink and the red all around, 360 like. And then there's that area that just looked, you know, it's like the cloud, it's like a blur. I'm like, why is there a blurry cloud there, or vapor, or whatever? You know, you got all the clouds that got the definition, right? And then you'll have this blurry spot. And so there was 2 blurry spots today. I mean, I see it quite often. And just don't know why there's these blurry spots in the sky. We had a lot of those popcorn looking clouds. But the red and pink is really pretty. Yeah, he does have a nice voice with his country accent. You also checked out Skies Above. Was in chat last night. I don't think I've seen Skies Above. So I have to go back and look at it because I don't remember seeing Skies Above. I remember somebody saying Skies, and you know I was thinking it was what's his name? The other Sky person. I forgot his name. He actually had a thing earlier. Well, what is tonight? Saturday. I mean, something will be happening. But, well, I don't know how you can mess that up. He said Virginia tag at first. He's like correction, North Carolina tag. They definitely look different. Even in the dark. You go to see if people's channels. Yeah, I check them out sometimes. I've kind of quit doing some research because some of it just carries you off in left field somewhere, and I don't have time for it anyway. But I was researching some stuff on some scriptures this morning, and I came across this website I would never go back to. It was, it was amazing how they tried to present Joshua as in other words, they tried to make him equal with Jesus, Joshua from the Old Testament. And the way they tried to compare stuff, I mean, if you were somebody that didn't know Jesus and the Holy Father, and and you read that stuff, I guess you would believe it, if you didn't know the Bible. Which I've got a confession to make. And it was about the vision I had. Let's see. This summer will make 4 years. The vision I had when I was in the floating on my back in my friend's swimming pool. Oh my gosh, I haven't even been swimming this summer. That's the only thing that relaxes me. Not gonna walk over there. Anyway, I had this is pretty sad, and I didn't even realize it again until I was reading a scripture last night.
Last name Davidson, first name Victoria.
that
Female, date of birth of 5/11/1970.
when I saw the baby, the fetus
She's negative
in the
OL
clouds,
balance 5,
and
2026, plus 5 point balance.
Satan and the man on the white horse. I mean, it was all, white clouds at the time, but it was clear. So they weren't white clouds. It was all white images in the sky. Like they were clouds, but they were drawn. They had all the definition. So they weren't like kind of looks like. When you look at a cloud and you say, oh, it kind of looks like that, or kind of. These were. So I'm looking up at the sky, laying on my back, floating, and I see this fetus. And I was worried about my daughter because she was pregnant with my grandson at the time. And I saw Satan, and I saw a man on a white horse with a sword, but then his eyes turned red, and it spooked me. So I figured it was Satan. So I stopped looking. I'm like, I don't know why I'm seeing what I'm seeing. This is the first time I saw anything. And, so I thought about it for a couple of minutes, and then I'm like, well, that's not good because something's going to happen with my daughter's pregnancy. And so at the time, had I known enough of Scripture, I would have realized that the fetus probably stood for birthing pains, and there was Satan. So there was there was the fetus, and then there was Satan, and then there was the man on the white horse that his eyes turned red with the sword. And, I mean red, just the eyes. And it spooked me. But then I was reading a scripture last night that Jesus, I had to pull it back up. One of the prophecies was Jesus appearing with a sword and eyes, his eyes like fire. So I wonder if that's what I was seeing. But because I didn't know Scripture enough back then, I didn't realize what I was seeing, and it frightened me. So I quit looking. I told Rachel's grandmother about it.
3027
But,
3027. Thank you.
they don't read Revelation at all. Anyway, I just thought it was pretty interesting that if you don't read the Bible, which I say go to God first anyway before you even pick up a Bible. You want to know He's real, ask Him to show you. But then you have to read Scripture. Just so you'll know some stuff. And then you won't even know signs when you see them because you don't realize they're signs because you didn't read the Bible I mean, I knew what I was seeing was real and it meant something, but, here I was worried it meant something was wrong with my daughter's pregnancy. And, my grandson turned 3 in March, so I think it related back to the Scripture and the birthing pains, and I don't know why I saw it. I'd never seen nothing like that before. But I truly think I've seen some things today in the sky again, and I'm like, I'm telling you, some of that stuff looks like spiritual warfare. I don't know if the fallen angels are up there. You know, the Nephilim, the giants. You know, one of the pictures. There's a couple of them that look like some of the stuff looks like these things are encapsulated in some kind of vapor or some kind of cloud, something they can't escape yet. Maybe some kind of frequency. I don't know. But I'll have to pull those up. But I really need to run another program to do it so I can enlarge them so people can see the details. Because some of the stuff, that's what it looks like. It looks like they're trapped in something. Mary sees this war in heaven. Who's Mary? Is that your sister? And there's another warning. In a prison orb. Yeah, something like that. You know, it's I don't know. That's what it looks like sometimes. Like some of them are trapped and others have broke through or whatever. And there's another warning. It's probably for Colorado. Yep. The same place that, wow, they're getting hit by another storm. And this one's moving 45 miles per hour. Oh, were you here last night when that storm was moving 70 miles per hour in Georgia? 70 miles per hour the storm was moving. That's almost hurricane force winds. This is a thunderstorm moving that fast. Hey, Eminent, how are you? So that had to be like, I don't know, maybe some straight line winds pushing it. 70 miles an hour is really fast for a thunderstorm to be moving. How are you doing, Em?
Showing you in the parking lot here at Elementary, we received a call for your dangerous vehicle speeding around the parking lot. Have you seen anything, or can I send this call to you to be cleared out? Burning out. Like I can smell the smoke, but the whole vehicle's going out. Should go ahead and clear it out. Everybody, you 24/7.
They love to do that at my job. Burn out their cars. Do donuts and stuff. Can't moan. I could moan, but I'm not going to. Because I realize there's people worse off than me in the world, so. But it was a trying day, to say the least. But Oh, let me see if I downloaded that picture yet. Show y'all what I'm talking about. Let's see if I can put it in this program. Add source. Um,
Boulevard at Burdick with New Mexico. Papa November Whiskey 120. 2249.
and where is it? Where is it? This isn't it, but I want to bring this one up for a second. I can enlarge it. Oh, come on, work with me here. Work with me. Oh, come on. Should be easier than that.
Cowboy 67240854. Widow Michael Jones. Shoot me at Atlantic 78, West Virginia. Uniform Whiskey Alpha 6639. 2251.
So, what do y'all see on that picture?
Virginia OL Alpha 62641353. Last name Armstrong, first name 1. Juliet Uniform Alpha November. Date of birth 6/2/1979.
And then I really need to add contrast to that one so you can see the other stuff. But anyway, let me find the one I was actually looking for. Okay, now I changed the color on this one. I think it was called whatever the filter plasma, or whatever the filter name was, to enhance these dark things that were around the sun, and these are the same things I've got pictures of around the moon. And I mean, that just can't be clouds doing that. I guess I should darken it so you can see it better. But some of the things just seem mechanical, you know. Now, whether they're human mechanical or alien mechanical, or I don't know. They just don't seem. But that was the sun one day. Got your eye loop out. That's still not the picture I wanted to show y'all, but alright, hold on. I still got to go back to that one, because that one's crazy. But let me find the one I want to show y'all. Oh, I downloaded it. Maybe I didn't yet. I thought I did. I'm sorry, I'm still looking. Oh, wow. Alright, where is it? Where is it? I guess I should put these in different folders. Okay, this still isn't the picture I wanted to show you, but I want to bring this one up. If I can get it to enlarge. Alright, now let me open up the original, show you the original, because all I did was darken it. to try to pull out some different things. But see that whatever is sticking down from the middle, the white color?
Copy one in custody.
No, that's not where the sun was.
2259. Transport to the dispatch.
That was the opposite side of the sky.
Transport 2. Transporting one to the precinct, mileage is 193,057.
There ain't a
10-4, 2259.
heavy cloud cover because some storm was coming in.
20
Oops. There we go.
Motion for units for cardiac arrest. 1101 Atlantic Avenue.
Oh,
Flag
wow.
laying on the ground, unresponsive between the Hampton Inn and the Calypso. The patient is breathing but very shallow. Motion for units.
Okay, this is crazy. I just noticed that with this one.
10-4 by K unit to assist.
So this one I darkened. This was of the sun yesterday. And I darkened it. You can still see, even as dark as I got it, you can still see the light blue rays coming from the sun. But look at this area of dark. And all that area, the sky should be bright. Was this yesterday's? I think this was yesterday's. Anyway, the sky should be bright, right? But now see the way the rays to the right side of it bend across this dark object? See how they look like they bend across it? So that's a solid object up there, whatever that it is. What do y'all think of that? That was the sun. Oh, and then there, actually, it looks like a ball up to the left. So the crazy looking little white face thing, that's supposed to be the sun behind that cloud. You see the blue beams coming out of it to the sides of it. But then see the one coming down, kind of slanted to the right? But look at that object that the light is bending over. Can you see the bend? Hey, Lulu. Hey, Discernment. How you doing, Lulu? Are you going to call in and give us your lovely Australian accented voice? Y'all got any ideas of what that is in the sky? It's Sunday. That's right, it is Sunday for you, isn't it? What time is it there? Yeah, a landmass or something, doesn't it? That's in the sky, though. That's the sun around that, where that little crazy face keeps showing up. It shows up in a lot of people's pictures, different times of day, that cloud or whatever it is goes in front of the sun. But yeah, it looks like a rock or something. Wait a minute, that other thing almost has a donut shape. Again. Oh. Oh, you did? Okay, good. It's the same as here, Lulu. I mean, same name, Judy Charlo at Gmail.
Units report of a fight with two females at the Walgreens, 2400 Atlantic, 2400 Atlantic, two Hispanic females fighting at the location.
So JudyCharlo at gmail.com. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, discern.
Cyclone is 3008.
Whether it's actually our sun or it's
2304.
something magnifying it, whatever it is, it's definitely closer.
Oh, well, now check your negative. That was 2304. Dispatch the 222 Bravo, take a check both units.
Alright, let me check the warning,
2304.
the tornado, severe storm warning. I heard it go off.
I know you just watched the right windmill gone to a white truck.
So those of you that missed it, last night, Georgia had a storm moving 70 miles per hour. 70 miles per hour. And that warning is for Texas, for Armstrong, Carson, and Donnie? Donnelly. Okay. $95. Yeah. Well, maybe it used to be. But you know that to me, yeah, they're since they found out that the speed of light isn't consistent, they always said it was consistent, right? And that's how they measured the distance of things like the sun and blah blah blah. Well, just like the speed of sound, the speed of light can be changed by what it's got to go through. So if it's traveling through some thick vapor, it's going to take it longer to get to the next source, and yada yada. So they realize now, I think they just announced it like 8 months ago, that the speed of light is not consistent as they thought it was. Yeah, exactly. A lot of things they didn't account for, but people were quick to believe one person when one person would say, oh, it's this. I've been proving a lot of them scientists wrong lately. All right, and this warning's for Colorado, for Baca and Prowers again. I see a donut around that one too. Up in the top, like it's coming through a donut hole. Which, considering I saw that donut in Arizona Skies telescope coverage of the full moon last year, there was a donut thing that showed up. And then that donut thing that Jeff P. showed us that night. And the donut thing I found on the ISS footage. And there's that donut shape again. But anyway, it might be some kind of like balloon or some kind of system they have holding something up there. That's what I think. When you think about it, we can hardly zoom in. Right, exactly. Right. They're rioting all over the world. Really? That's not good. took a pic of the sun a while ago. Had the shape of the USA. Really? Yeah, the sun takes on all kinds of shapes now, depending on the cloud vapor that's in front of it nowadays. But there's some that are consistent around the world. Like this space right here that's blocking the sun. That one I see all around the world. So it's not a local cloud. But whatever that is there, that is something very dark and a very bright, bright sun. And that's not a cloud. That looks like a solid dark mass. And you can see where the light, the beam, kind of curves over it and it stops. See, that beam should have carried down like the beam does to the left. That beam on the bottom should have carried down, but it's something stopping it. Now, on the right side, the clouds are stopping the beam. Yeah, wouldn't that be beautiful, Suzanne? Okay, Suzanne. The aqua blue looks like the top object to me. The aqua blue, well, the aqua blue light is the rays coming from the, that's the blue rays coming from the sun. I'll show you the original. Wow, yeah. How could they do that? How could they cast that shadow? So it was only 78 degrees, and had on some light green pants, and you know, something that reflects the light from the sun, so you know you're not hot when you're working outdoors. So anyway, I'm sitting there with one leg in the car and one leg out because I'm sitting there trying to let the car cool off so I can try to drive it again. And it's only 78 degrees. All of a sudden, my knee is on fire from the sun. And these are light green pants that don't absorb the heat. They reflect the sun. And I was like, no way the sun is burning that hot. And it's only 78 degrees. And if I had on some dark clothes, that would have been different. But the sun was super intense. And it's like a magnifier now. Like, you know, if you took a magnifying glass and, like they used to burn ants or whatever they do with magnifying glass in the sun. It's like a magnifying glass on the sun. But that's why I say I think the fourth angel's poured the vial on the sun already. And I think it's going supernova. But it's going to burn us first. And then there will be no light. It says, and then the sun won't give its light. And I don't think it says 3 days this time. It was 3 days for the Old Testament. But I don't think for this coming event, it actually says a time frame. I might be wrong, so somebody can correct me if I am.
Virginia Tech, X-ray, Echo Lima, 7108.
You said there's rioting. I need to look that up. Oh yeah, it definitely used to be yellow. No, this crazy bright light that gives off blue blue light. But you know, they say when a star is going supernova, it gives off blue light, and it burns the ozone. It allows the UVC to penetrate. We already know we got UVC penetration. Yeah, let me see if there's about the riots.
Myself, like 14, 1700 block Atlantic, Virginia, Central Mexico, Providence, 6664, Silver Monday.
2317. 13 traffic south of 511.
It seems like if there was riots going on right now, the scanner would notify me that.
Go ahead. East with a Virginia, Delta, 3 Delta, Papa, Oscar, Lima. 10-4, 2017.
Mike, send us back 10, it's going to be Victor, 0, Golf, 1954.
10-4 at 2318.
None of the updates here. Riots going on across the world.
Tango 6553 3520.
Euro News. Protests continue. World News Watch. Riot police. Attack during.
629 Bravo on channel 2.
They still rioting in Paris? Crane protest. What exactly is going on?
Silver Chrysler 300 tags displayed.
List of riots.
OL status is fine. Expires 9 of 2020.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And next unit with the OL check.
Tides of protesters flooded the streets of Hong Kong.
6434. Outside to Indiana, Atlanta, date of birth 6598.
10th floor. That OL is also valid. Expires 6 of 2026. Point plus 3 point out.
Copy. Good work. Instruction.
10th floor. 2319 hours.
Sing hallelujah to the Lord. Hong Kong Christians are a highly visible presence in Hong Kong protests. Tides of protesters dressed in black flooded the streets of Hong Kong for the second consecutive Sunday to protest the controversial extradition bill that could see residents sent to mainland China to stand trial. According to the organizers' estimates, nearly 2 million people attend the march, making it the biggest protest in the city's history with more than a quarter of the population participating. The police estimate a much lower turnout, like 338,000. Protesters held up banners, chanted protest songs, and sang Christian hymns on the streets. The proposed law would make it easier to send criminal suspects to China where they could face unfair trials.
9556.
So that's why they're protesting, because they don't want to be governed by China. There's a lot of Christians in Hong Kong.
2321. 220 Providence Avenue, 4
It's like there's a small sun. Yes. Yeah, I think that's all there is now is a small sun behind that big glob. Because if you watch 3 of the videos that I have, when that big glob moves out of the way for a minute, you see a tiny little ball behind it. And that's it. You see the tiny little ball. And you're like, okay. So that cloud thing moved out of the way, right? And all the brightness went away from it. It's not. So that wasn't the sun. So now that that white glob is out of the way for a moment, you see the tiny little ball. And I've got 3 videos where I caught it for the last 2 years. And then someone else caught it too. Actually, I think 3 people now, 3 different channels I've seen where they actually caught it. That they weren't trying to catch it, but they were filming and they happened to catch it. Yeah. A few weeks back on Mr. Cat had an interesting observation. Yeah, in the lens flare, exactly. And yep. Green dot or sometimes blue. It changes. Yep. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay. So yeah, they don't want to become part of they don't want to be run by China's rule. And can't blame them. And France is protesting. Oh, that was Euro. Let's see.
What's the Charles?
Coming out on the traffic stop. And they were even just before
2 men arrested. Some iron. Violent clashes in Algeria's protests. Macron faces renewed pressure as Paris cleans up. Boris Johnson's unused water cannon sold for whoa, dude just drove off at 90 miles an hour. That's gonna be a cop chase. They usually don't cover ours live on the only one the last one I remember them covering live was we had a pharmacist. He was such a nice man, and he was only in his 40s. He used to work for Big Pharma, and he didn't like the way they were, insurance and the prices were ripping off, especially his elderly patients. So he opened his own pharmacy, and he sold the same medicine that these big chains sell for a third of the price. And he was so kind that one of the gentlemen forgot to refill his wife's medicine, and when it came time to give her midnight dose, he realized he had forgotten to refill it, and there was none. And he called the pharmacist. The pharmacist got out of bed, went to his pharmacy, filled the prescription, and took it to the man's house so he could give it to his wife. That's how nice of a man he was. Anyway, this this person strung out on uh, Oxycontin or whatever it was. He went there, and he used to go there. Apparently, he used to fill prescriptions there, but I guess the doctors had cut him off by now, or whatever. So now he's robbing pharmacies. So he went in there with a gun and told him to give me all your Oxycontin. And he told him, he said, "Look, put the gun back in the car and let me get you some help." Dude shot him in the chest, killed him. And then went up the street to another mom pop pharmacy, another family owned pharmacy, and robbed them. And he did get Oxycontin from them. He didn't get any from this man because this man was trying to help him because he knew him, from years before when he used to fill his prescriptions there. And he told him, put the gun in the car and we'll talk, you know. And he was going to try to get him help, But anyway, so he went to the next pharmacy and robbed them. And then so the police were, in pursuit. So he was riding down the interstate shooting, just shooting at the police cars, shooting at any car riding by. They finally made him wreck. on Witch Duck Road, but I think that's the last time the helicopters actually covered a police chase here. Anyway, I know they're in a chase now if that guy took off at 90 miles an hour. But we probably won't see helicopter coverage like they do in California. But
Search 452 Charlie, repeat check.
especially this time of night, it'd be hard for them to
2229.
follow them. I don't know. China is the dragon. Wasn't it Year of the Dragon or something? Yeah, plants.
Dispatch 127 Charlie, repeat check. 10-4, clear for warning. 10-4, dispatch 128 Charlie, repeat check.
Well, some big pharma medicine helps people. You know, there's and most medicine came from natural stuff first. Some of it they've been able to synthesize, make synthetics because they copied the properties of the what the plants give. But I mean, some of it, some of it, there's a lot of people on medication and it actually helps them. Whether we hadn't introduced certain things into our bodies, had we lived like God told us to live in the first place, then we probably wouldn't have thyroid disease and diabetes and a lot of the autoimmune diseases. Even asthma is an autoimmune disease. I don't know if y'all knew that or not, but asthma is actually an autoimmune disease. They
221 Charles.
Between Satan and the dumb stuff we've done ourselves. But now, with the radiation coming from the sun, or the radiation coming from wherever it's coming from out in the atmosphere, but I'll say it's the sun, it's you're going to see a lot more people with problems. And, all the plagues are coming back. Scripture tells us that. There's going to be lots of plagues. As one of the angels is allowed to start that one again. So I think all the old ones are going to come back, and then a bunch of new ones. And some of the stuff, every day we're like, it just doesn't make sense. We see something like, that just doesn't make sense. And in the natural, and the science that we knew, and some of it doesn't, but it makes sense scripture-wise.
Different color, advising that this year is in front of her, 10511 Charles, going to be a Chrysler. Dispatch 228 Charles.
Man, this mail is getting ready to break.
10-4. Dispatch you to 222 Charles 1.
Well, most of the plants now even are contaminated with the acid rain and the chemicals that we put in the air, and then it rains it back down into the soil, and then the water evaporates again, and it picks up the fertilizers and everything else. So even somebody far away fertilizing their ground, or poison spill somewhere, the rain, it gets evaporated, so now it's in the atmosphere. Then the rain cloud moves 1,000 miles or wherever the wind blows it to, and then it drops that poison from that cloud that evaporated that groundwater that was poisoned.
228
And eventually it makes it everywhere. So even the healthy plants are taking in that poison too. But you know, I see a lot of stuff dying, and I think it's the sun. And I see, I still want to know why we have petrified frogs.
Holiday Travel Park.
10-4, so I think they're 4.
Listening. Need to do, oh, okay. Oh, I still haven't pulled up that picture I was going to pull up. I stopped at that one. I never got the one I was meant to get. Let me see. Scroll all the way down.
Dispatch 221 Charles, safety check both units.
If you didn't see the white Chrysler leaving the campground, there's an individual that just left out. Texas plate, Hotel Zulu Tango 4558.
Charles, 24 Charles. Look out, I'm just gonna shit at the 7-Eleven, $700 Boulevard. 10-4, team assist.
Okay, so this was the original to the other picture. Let me get that one out of the way. Oops. This was the original to that one. But it almost looks like something encapsulated in that white, elongated looking cloud sticking through like a tube almost. I don't know. There'd be some crazy stuff going on in the skies. But this is the original. Before I darkened it so you could see the other stuff going on. But you see the strange rays in the background too. And like I said, that's not even where the sun was. It looks like a little face up at the very top with sunglasses on. Anyway, I don't know. Oh, welcome back. She wants to stay up because it's summer. Yeah. And that's still. Oh, he's on Southgate. I was on Southgate today. One of the side streets I had to take. Since I can only drive 25 miles per hour. And scared the car was going to stall out. I left it there. That looks like something round in the background, too. Anyway, let me see if I can get to the picture I was going to show. Alright,
Delta Echo 5791.
scroll down.
Got it. 2239.
Is that it? Nope. Although that one is interesting. Oh.
Center 477, routine check.
This was another one from yesterday. That one back there wasn't from yesterday. That was from like a couple of weeks, 3 weeks ago or so at work.
2239.
But there is the blue light again.
2239.
But this almost looks like a man's, like a football player type build man to the, to the left bottom of that picture. Wait a minute, what is that? What is that coming out that's dark? Oh yeah, that one. I forgot. See that little dark thing?
326 Bravo 1, routine check.
It doesn't look like it belongs.
2240.
You know, maybe all this dark matter or antimatter or whatever they want to, dark energy, maybe that's what this stuff is that's showing up, and it's actually the energy from the fallen ones. But anyway, that, you can see that little very dark thing in the middle, kind of in the middle, right below the bright white glob that's blocking the blue sun. Almost look like a Joker's face with two colors, like a mask that goes over the eyes and half of the nose. It's cute looking. But that's still not the one I wanted to show y'all.
Coming up the boulevard, 51 towards First Memorial, if you guys want to wait for me. Yeah, we'll be turned on to the station. Towards the boulevard. Alright, I'll be in First Memorial on that line. 226 Charlie, 291 Bill's back behind you.
Okay, go up to this one. Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Almost. Okay, this was part of the video that I had from the tornado here in Virginia Beach. Can you tell me what that looks like to you? You see the tornado part, but what's that part look like?
Not licensed.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, discernment.
Copy. 2340.
Doesn't that almost look like arms wrapped around that storm system with their hands pointed up, like in a cup position, like they were holding back the storm?
I just want to let them know that we're going to get traffic with it. We'll be in the Texas Tag Hotel. We'll do
Yeah,
458. We'll be at Potter.
that's what it reminded me of.
2344. Yeah, we'll be behind counter 10.
Because as y'all can see, that would have been a ferocious storm. Had it, if you go watch the video, had it actually done the damage it could have done, it would have been ferocious. And there's a lot of people. A lot of people would have been hurt. But yeah, I didn't notice it at the time because we were worried about all the kids. Because I was at work and we had some games going on, so we had a bunch of kids there, and we were trying to get them to go into the tunnel part of the building where it would be the safest. And kids didn't want to go because they all want to watch the storm, and nobody had ever seen the storm that we saw that day. And hello, Dirty. How are you?
3034, repeating 23034. 23 side hours.
We're just looking at pictures. But Dirty, you're welcome to call in if you like. I have a phone number somewhere. There it is. I always bury it with all these pictures.
Dispatch 225 Charles, safety check.
Which one was that? Where did he go?
Warehouse entry.
I might have to update this.
Employees are outside saying that they heard a noise and got scared and called the alarm company. Again, they're waiting outside. Dispatch 323 Charlie. 328 Charlie to assist. That's where you are to book me. 10 from 248.
Yeah, I like conversation most of the time.
That's where you switch this one from the address.
25 Charlie.
Oh boy,
10-4-1-25 Charlie, you're around to 170.
they just caught somebody smoking marijuana. It's still illegal here. it's kind of unfair when you're in the United States and you got one state that will arrest you and give you a prison sentence for marijuana and another state is legal. I mean, I don't know what they do with it now when they catch people. They still have to go to court, I know that. But what do you do with the people that you gave 40 and 50-year sentences to? Well, I guess then they would charge them with, if they made it legal, I don't know. If they end up charging them with major tax evasion or something. Since
170, 125, you copy? 170.
it's still not legal to have a ton of marijuana at once. So the ones that got big sentences like that had major amounts, so they still would have been in trouble. So, I don't know.
Copy of 2010 at 2250 and it's running such month.
Why is this? That's weird. Alright, so back to what we were doing. Let me see if I can find that picture that I was going to pull up. I haven't got to. Promote alcohol that has killed millions. Yeah, alcohol has definitely been bad. And let's see, I think the storm thing moved.
I'm at the intersection.
Yeah, I'm just saying that they put people in prison for a long time that were selling marijuana, and with states that legalized it, did they release all the people that were in jail for it?
10-4, T-check. I understand. 10-4,
Yeah, alcohol has definitely hurt a lot of people, that's for sure.
446 X-ray.
Well, alcoholism, a drink or two, hasn't. But the problem is, if you have that seed or that DNA chromosome or whatever it is, sounds like they got a drunk person right now.
543.
Somebody's walking all unstable. Alright, let's see what else is going on.
Scan, check.
Protesters clash with police in Chile over education ruling. France investigates Nutella deal that caused brawls. Hundreds arrested as clashes rock. Tons of them? A deadly day of rage in Palestinians.
We made a Wawa for a vehicle that was T-boned.
Uh-oh. Vehicle was T-boned. Probably a drunk driver. This warning is for Baca, Colorado.
10-4, it's going to be a dark sedan and a white vehicle at 24.
I still can't get over that thunderstorm that was moving 70 miles an hour last night. I know we're gonna see worse. I mean, it went from 40 and 45 to 50 and 55 and 60, and then last night that was the fastest one I've seen was 70 miles per hour. So we're probably gonna see 80 and 90 and 100-mile-an-hour storms moving that fast. Hello, Bamboo. Oops.
Copy. Bravo 6722541.
Yeah, I agree, Mnet. How are you doing, Bamboo? Let's see if anything's going on here. No updates on here.
Go ahead.
Black 43, 9 millimeter stereo. Alpha Bravo Uniform Tango 404.
Might be the check.
We'll see if that gun comes back stolen.
Sorry about that. Right. 429 for me.
425, I'm into respond code or traffic out.
Keep running up for a minute because one car is in the intersection. I can't actually block both segments, so you can get that car.
And that warning is for Texas. Tornado just came in for Texas too. Armstrong and Donnelly. That was the area. Those two different storms were going to meet up. I guess they did. So the other storm before that one is Armstrong, Carson, Donnelly, and Gray, Texas. The tornado is in Armstrong and Donnelly. Let me put these on so I can read it. Located 7 miles east of Goodnight or 10 miles northwest of Clarendon. And it's moving northeast at 20 miles per hour. So if you know anybody in Armstrong or Donnelly, Texas, they need to know they have a tornado warning. Of discernment, you leaving us. God bless you. Have a wonderful night. Stay safe.
10-4, 2358. Touchdown, unit for San Bruno, 2358.
Janice Joplin. Huh? Mother's Little Helper was valiant. Prince Valiant Purple. Then the generic Xanax came in. Like any drug. Don't overdo it. Well, that's the problem with most of those drugs is that you end up building a tolerance for them. And you got to have more to get the same effect. This one's for Missouri, for Johnson, Lafayette, and Pettis. and it's near Odessa, to near Warrensburg, to near Chilhowie, moving east at 40 miles per hour. But the biggest threat is that tornado in Texas right now. And there's another one. These storms are popping up late tonight. And it is for Kansas, for Morton and Stanton. It's located near Saunders Elevator, moving east at 25 miles per hour. And a deer here or there, yeah. Had you a bunch of meds and finally said, I hear you.
I had the driver over here with me.
Oh, look, Quaaludes is gone.
425 Charlie.
Well, Quaaludes was, wasn't that an over-counter?
Tire's on speed right now.
Kind of like Downer. Didn't that just make people sleepy?
That's one somebody echo test negative.
I think I remember that in the 70s or 80s. Maybe the 70s. The problem with Oxycontin, Percocet, whatever was the pharmacy reps invited a bunch of doctors to an island to golf and party or whatever at the island, and gave them the Oxycontin or Percocet as, gave them the sales pitch for it, and actually got some of the doctors strung out on it back then when it first came out. But all the doctors had incentives to push it at first as the new pain medicine. And there's some proof that the pharmacy knew, or the makers knew, how addictive it was. So that's at least that was a story like 10 years ago or more, on how they first got the doctors to push it. And I guess the doctors thought that it worked, and people didn't have to take as much of it because it lasted longer, and but it was misrepresented. And then, like I said, they had incentives. Well, they do most medicine anyway. I mean, they get samples, and then they probably get, I mean, it's against the law for them to give them, perks, incentives, not perks like Percocet, but incentives. Just like here, the ABC law is, you can't suggest the sale of alcohol. Like, you can't walk around with Jello shooters on a tray and tell people you got Jello shooters for $1 because you're enticing the sale of alcohol. And no alcohol distributor that distributes like to your bar or restaurant can give you anything worth over $12. Like they used to have, clocks that advertise beers or liquors, and lights like pool lights that hang over your pool tables and stuff. Well, they did away with that in Virginia. They can't give you anything over $12 as an incentive, to purchase the alcohol. So all they give now is like blow up stuff, like fake football, plastic blow up things, with a Budweiser emblem on it. But you can walk in a liquor store here, an ABC store, where it's the only place you can buy liquor, is in an alcohol beverage control store ran by the state, and they'll be giving away $1,000 chair if you buy this certain liquor and put your name in the drawing. So the state's allowed to do it. Another tornado warning. But if you own a bar or restaurant, you're not allowed to. And this one is for Tennessee: Armstrong, Carson, Donnelly, and Gray. Confirmed tornado located 5 miles northeast of Goodnight, or 14 miles east of Claude, moving north moving north, that's odd. Moving north, well, it's a tornado, so it can move any way it wants to. At 15 miles per hour, so that is a confirmed tornado. I'm sorry, let me put on these glasses. Texas, darn. How did the X look like an N? So, I'm sorry. Confirmed tornado in Texas, so if you know anybody in Texas, it is confirmed. It's on the ground. It's in Armstrong, Carson, Donnelly, and Gray County right now. And that's a confirmed tornado. So if you know someone there, let them know. Black and Tan Yingling, yeah, that was some decent tasting beer. Yeah, it's like that in PA too. Wow. All right, and we got another warning from Missouri. It's for Benton, Camden, Morgan, and SL Clare, wherever SL is, and then Clare, and that's in Missouri, um, near Warrensburg to Leeton to near Clinton to Appleton City, moving east at 45 miles per hour. Big threat. There's that tornado in Texas. It was two beers that you mix together. Um, Darn it, I'll think of it in a minute. And we used to have we had a special draft line set up for it, so we could make black and tans. It was, oh man. Anyway, whatever, it'll come to me. It was years ago. It was a really heavy, dark beer, and then it was an ale, I think we put on top of it, if I remember correctly. I hope those people are okay in Texas.
She got me my message.
I've been out of the car trying to direct the traffic out.
So that's how you know.
Yeah, it was the,
You can add the text.
Okay, what was it?
a lager, and a stout. But it was really popular with Guinness, and it was Guinness, and then any ale that you wanted to add, but Guinness was the stout beer. It was expensive for people to order it too, because the Guinness was not cheap. Good morning, young lady. How are you?
Hi, I'm calling in to see if your phone is working, to see if anybody's calling in. Because I know the other day you had a problem with the phone.
Yeah, I had
I'm
I had a
trying to get
problem
other people to
with I had a problem with
call
both
in here.
phones.
I just
This
wanted to make
phone
sure
and myself.
your phone was working, so that I'm like, let me call her just to see if the phone is working. So if somebody's trying to call in, because I put your number there. So who's calling in?
You are.
Well, I was calling in to see who's calling in. And I know it's late. I feel so bad. I was hoping
I
someone would
think
call
Emmett was
in.
thinking of an Irish car bomb.
Oh wait, let me see. I remember all those crazy drinks from back in the day, as far as especially like the bars in the 80s.
Uh-huh.
And I forgot what they called it. If people remember the drink that they called a Dr. Pepper. And I'm trying. And it was
You
something
mean a
where it was.
flaming Dr. Pepper?
A beer
You talking
drinker. I
about the
never was.
flaming Dr. Pepper?
You know.
Suzanne?
Wait, I'm sorry?
You talking about the flaming Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, it was something with like it was a beer and you put a shot glass in it and
Yeah, it was
people would
called a
sit there and try
flaming
to.
Dr. It was a flaming
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper, but they made the flame illegal in Korea or overseas somewhere. It might have been Japan. Or they karaoke is real big in the bars, and flaming drinks were really big, and several people died from flaming drinks
Well,
catching their
I
hair or
never,
clothes on
I
fire.
never
So
was a beer guzzler.
they made them illegal here.
Yeah, it was like a beer guzzling drink.
Yeah.
And I was never a beer guzzler. Like I never really cared. Only once in a while I'll have like a beer. It depends how I would feel. You know, that was back in the day when I was younger, where we could handle. I mean, you know, back in the day, you know, where those that did have a drink and hung out in the bars, it was a different time. You know, you could drink people under the table, kind of thing. Certain people, and God rest my friend's soul. She passed away about 4 or 5 years ago, and she was. We all went underage for a long time, but she was a bartender, and at the time when that was big in the 80s, you know, she was doing those while she was bartending, and they would have the contest of who could do how many, and I didn't participate because I was not a beer guzzler. And I remember she said one night she went to the hospital 3 in the morning. So she tells, you know, the doctor, I think mind you, she was like 19 years old, even though she had the bartending job. She wasn't even old enough to be a bartender, but you know
Yeah,
how
I
those
started
days were back
bartending
then.
when I wasn't old enough.
And I remember the next day, you know, I grew up with her. You know, she died of multiple sclerosis 4 years ago, and I remember her, like she tells me the next day, I was in a hospital, and she thought she was having a heart attack. So I'm like, but you're only 19, and she goes, well, the doctor asked me what I was doing, so she told him. Well, I was doing, you know, what you were calling it, because I forgot the name. I called them Dr. Peppers. That's what we called them. I believe am I right? Yeah, at least in New Jersey, I believe they called them Dr. Peppers. After he told her, he goes, "Oh my God!" He's like, "You're lucky to be alive." And he goes, "No, you have a bad case of agita." So I think he gave her like a Pepto Bismol type of thing, and then she felt better and sent her home. But I remember that.
Wow.
But in Japan, were doing that when? A few years ago or now?
It was back when I worked at the bar. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, and I remember.
Yeah, Flaming Dr. Pepper was just beer and amaretto, and then whatever high proof liquor would catch on fire. And
Oh God.
you drop the shot glass into the amaretto beer mix with the high proof liquor on fire, and then once it goes out, it tastes like Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. So you used the bar. Well, you bartended. I remember you saying that.
Right,
That's
for
right.
22 years.
Yeah. Yeah. So you
Well, I was
know how to
the
make the.
manager, the bartender, the bouncer, the psychologist, everything.
It was a different time. That's where there wasn't this like the social media or anything. I mean,
Oh, we
that
had
was the
social
social
media.
media.
Matter of
Well,
fact, that's why I got 3,000 people on Facebook, because I used it to advertise for the bar.
no, I mean back. Were you talking about the '90s or the '80s?
No, I started in 94 and was
Okay,
there
but I'm talking
to
about the.
2016.
Oh, okay, but I'm talking about the '80s. Like in the '80s, that was the social. The
Oh,
social place.
yeah, I don't know. I was laying bricks then.
Yeah, and
Well, the
I went
early
through my
80s, I was
phases.
go-go dancing, and I was go-go dancing. I hated that, and then I went to laying bricks.
Oh
I,
God.
yeah, I didn't really hang out in bars. I went in and did my dances and left.
Yeah, and I through the years, I just remember like I went through my little phases in the '80s of what I like to have as my cocktail, and it would depend on the mood. Sometimes
Right.
I go for the White Russian.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That kind of
I
thing.
actually like White Russians. But I tell you,
Yeah, it
Kahlua,
depends
there's
on.
a big difference, man. You can buy some other coffee liqueur, and it just is not the same as Kahlua. Not even close.
Oh yeah, I prefer the Kahlua, no doubt. Like I if I have a cocktail, like it's like and it's not like I hang out at bars anymore. I don't. But like same thing like with vodka. Like back in the day, I never took the house vodka. Never.
I
Like
could do the house
I
vodka,
would
but
make sure it was.
if I was making
I
a
prefer
White
Schmier.
Russian, it
Like
had to
back then,
be
I've always
Kahlua.
preferred Smirnoff. I didn't even though people like that Goose one, I still like the Smirnoff.
Yeah,
That was the one that I
Grey
would
Goose
take.
is overrated. It actually has more burn than the house vodka.
Yeah, yeah, it's always Smirnoff. And even if I make a penne with vodka sauce, I prefer to use the Smirnoff in it than the Grey Goose. No doubt. I was looking at with my magnifying glass just to get back to the topic we were speaking about, and the one picture I saw, I guess that's the sun. The last picture that you showed.
Uh huh.
I guess that was the sun, right? With the, it
Yeah.
looked like to me. I mean, I don't have. I do have a computers, but I just use my phone here. But it looked like I saw two faces near the sun. Was that what you were talking about? Like two faces. One looks like a side view of a man, and then
Yeah.
the one nearer to the sun is the woman. And I mean, it's deep, I mean, like like I know some people could be like, it's like when the gentleman Dave was speaking the other day, and he was saying he showed a friend a picture of, I guess, that cloud or a cloud, like the face, and he said, oh well, or a person, whatever he was saying that they were like, it's just a cloud. So I feel bad because I know what he's saying. That's what
Right.
they see. They don't want to look. And I remember even being younger, there is that famous what do you call it, abstract type of almost like ink block. Am I saying that right?
Ink
Ink
blot.
block. Where the famous thing, could you see Jesus? And some people can't.
Right.
And then after a while, some people will go, oh wait, I see his face.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, it depends. Sometimes like people where they're going to focus. But me, definitely, I feel like in PA, I don't have like where I'm at here. I saw about 3 years ago. I did see them doing those. See, I don't know, chemtrails, whatever you want to call it, but now not so much. Like it's either rainy or it's a clear day sky as far as
Right.
here in the Poconos of PA. But we did have a few times, like I spoke with a friend, you know, where we had that really weird torrential rain that that after 50 something years, I don't remember rain being that evil feeling.
Right.
I know what you mean, like that, where you could just feel it's like a pouring. And when I was speaking with a friend who her father's a preacher, and I met her up here, and she's still my friend, and and even I spoke with her the next day, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that rain was horrible." I said it was almost like something evil, like evil. And she was like, "No, I know."
Right.
And then when I had a party for my daughter in May, we were outside on my deck, and it was kind of a nice day, and in the distance was that blanket fog. What you were speaking about, like it looks like it's like a, and I said to her, "Oh, there's that fog, like,
Right.
you could see it through the trees, through the distance." And she's like, "What is that about?" But I says, "I don't know." I'm like, "But it's really weird because," I said, "once it comes about, it blankets the sky."
Right.
Yeah, so, but,
Oh
but
my
I know what you
gosh.
mean. Like, I see that on, like, YouTube. Like, I don't have the answers like anybody else, but I really feel exactly. It's more spiritual. I feel like maybe they do have their weapons or whatever, but I do feel like regardless, there is a spiritual, sun similar, whatever, fine. But there's still a spiritual thing going up there. Whether they're trying to cover it, I don't know, or we don't know. You
Well, I
know what
don't
I
think
mean?
it's a
Or
simulator. I think it's a magnifier or and not even a. I think now it's something to obscure the blue and try to magnify it or try to make it white because they can't make it yellow, I guess. But our sun is in major trouble, and they don't want to tell us that. And like I said, I believe it's going supernova. And from all the pictures and videos and stuff that I've been documenting for the last 3 years, and with the UVC and everything else, and then with what Scripture says about the angel pouring the vial out on the sun. Hold on 1 second, Suzanne.
that's
Okay.
fine. That's fine.
Good morning. You're live on the air.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, how do you use a condom?
Wow. They really wasted their time to dial a phone number to say that. That's crazy. Suzanne? Whoops. Suzanne, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Suzanne?
Yeah, I was just reading the Yeah, I hear you. I was just reading the comments.
Oh.
Oh, Griffin just stepped in. Hi, Griffin.
Hi, Griffin.
That's isn't that with the wait, Griffin is the one on the plane, isn't it? Like on Twilight Zone back then, the Griffin. That's the one that messes with the plane engines. Well, we got golems out there. Why not? Bring in the Griffin. Wait a second, I want to be labeled. Never mind.
You're funny.
Oh no, I get bad. But no, I don't think I'm evil. I just get bad. I think everybody's cool. And But going back to, I mean, when I go on this YouTube and I do, because I'm, staying home and, I find it more entertaining through YouTube than I do TV at this point.
Right.
And I don't have Netflix. I did have Netflix when my daughter was younger. We had it, but then now she's more into the texting with friends or whatever it is, and I watch. And so my husband decided to cut the Netflix because he's like, "Why am I paying for it? Because I wasn't watching it. Neither was she."
Right.
So I feel bad because people talk about. Sometimes I look at other shows or whatever, and I'll go, "Oh, Netflix," but I'm like, "Oh, I don't even have it." And we canceled it around the same time, which had nothing to do with it. I think there was people that there was some kind of controversy or going out there because of the ex-president, or I'll say the previous president. I'll just put it that way. I won't say the previous president. I guess had something to do with Netflix. So people were like, "Oh, I'm going to cancel because of that," but that's not why we canceled. They just wanted too much money.
Yeah. It's
And
funny how
it wasn't
rumors.
worth it.
It's funny how rumors can ruin businesses. But
oh yeah, I see it. It's
I mean, it's not funny,
unbelievable.
but you know what I mean. It's sad actually, but.
And well, the conspiracies, I kind of get,
Well,
I get a
if you
kick
were
out of some
a
stuff.
competitor,
I have an open mind. I
if
have an
you were
open
a
mind, but I'm
competitor,
still a believer. That I've always was. That's the way I look at it.
right? But if you were a competitor, what's the best way instead of spending billions of dollars on commercials trying to compete, right, with your competitor? You just start a rumor that'll make people drop that company. And when they drop that company, since there's only 3 or 4 of y'all out there, then, you just take your competitors out with rumors. It's happened a lot in business.
Listen, our government, there a lot of them are traders. So the only ones that are really winners are those that are the inside traders. Like, if I say they're traders, like the inside, like when it comes to like stock market, you know, like as far as in the U.S.
Well, yeah,
and
because they're
even
ripping off
about,
all the
they
small
know how
people.
to. They play the game because they're part of the game. So, and you're right. Like it only like if a company wants to bankrupt itself and it makes so the game, and it makes so much. I don't want to say a company name because I don't want you to get strike or well, but like a famous name, and they're like, listen, we spread ourselves too thin now. We got all this franchise, but now we're not making money. So, and maybe the government was giving them kickbacks, and when just like it, who knows what goes on in the heavens there, but down here that they're changing guards or whatever is going on, or argument, uh, going back to, well, how do we get out of this? Well, we have to go chapter 13. Yeah, but how are we going to go chapter 13? You know how that works as far as the business goes. Well, or chapter 11. Well, how are we going to get to chapter 11 or 13? Well, we'll have to make people not buy our product. So they buy off whoever, exactly right, to say, okay, let's send this guy out that they could hate them and they'll burn our shoes and burn our stuff. And like, in the U.S., or whatever country they want to go, because I don't know how it works in China, but here we have bankruptcy laws. Well, however they play it, will go bankrupt. So then all of a sudden they could get their sales low enough, which we see it all the time. Walmart, they all do it, so that they can have the excuse to close down their stores or their businesses, and then they could either go under a different name, or they could do, I believe, I want to say 13 or 11, one of them, that they could go, oh, we need to recoup, and they do that all the time. It's like Trump said, he's a businessman. He knows the deal. He does it himself. It's business, and then they'll say it's nothing personal. It's business.
Yeah, but they've cracked down on a lot of that bankruptcy stuff, and you really they go a lot further into investigating your finances now and who's related to you and who has holdings and
I've heard because I
yeah.
went bankrupt before I was 30 years old, and I went Chapter 7. And it wasn't like I didn't understand bankruptcy. I knew it even before then. I was hoping it wouldn't happen, but it did, and I had to. Like I knew I had to. Um, and and so I could understand people that go through it, but it's not the end of the world. It's just that they do, and they change the rules. They change the rules. I mean, my advice is always to find a good bankruptcy lawyer. Like when somebody's thinking about going bankruptcy, and try to get a lawyer that actually knows the arbitrators, because the arbitrators that are judges are lawyers. And you know that would always be my advice, because I know what bankruptcy. It's uh you after you go bankrupt, it's difficult. You can get at it, like you could work your credit up and everything. I'm one of them. I've done it. It was years ago, but I do know that they changed. I think later on, it was like it's harder when we're older, when you're in your 40s or 50s, and because at that point, it depends on what, like, I always feel like the times. And usually, like with me, they really didn't care because I wasn't 30. So even the lawyer said you really didn't accumulate as much for them to really want to go after anything. But when you get to be your 40s, 50s, 60s, or whatever, I think that they'll probably focus more on you because of the fact they figure, okay, at this point you accumulated, whether houses, like more, or second homes, things like that.
Funny you say that because today that was part of the reason why I was feeling a little down is because I've been working and paying taxes since I was 12 years old. And, yep, 12 years old. They didn't know how old I was because I lied and said I was 18. But you would think IRS would have known that if I was born in 62, I wasn't old enough legally to even have a work permit. But anyway,
Yeah.
they didn't care because I was paying taxes. Um, and I am 56 and a half years old, and I now have nothing. Now I don't even have a car. And I've worked my entire
Oh,
life. So,
oh, not
anyway, but
easy.
what they did, they changed bankruptcy because what people were doing is they would go out and get a bunch of debt, they would get a bunch of stuff on credit, and then file bankruptcy and then try to keep the stuff. And so they started changing the law to where they couldn't keep the stuff, so people would come back and repossess the furniture and the stereos and the TVs and the cars and even the clothes. One person, they actually went in and took, because they bought really expensive clothes. They're like, oh no, that's fine. You can file bankruptcy. Don't pay us, but we're coming to get all that merchandise. And the lady was like, well, you can't do nothing with it.
Yeah, well, they know
And
now
they're
they
like,
could
that's
try.
fine, but you won't be
Sorry about
wearing
that.
it. Go ahead.
Water. Be sleeping and she's making a video. If you heard that, Ma, go away. She's making a video. I mean, she's on summer vacation here, but I want her to go to sleep, and she's like, "Can you go away?" She's making a video. It's probably like 1 in the morning. I'm just like, "Oh God."
She's making a video.
She's making a video. She's 11. She should be sleeping,
Making a video
and
for
she's
what? She isn't on YouTube, is she?
no. I don't have her on YouTube.
Facebook?
No, I never did Facebook.
What's she making a video for at this time of morning?
Oh no, she's just been. She's got a lot of energy. This
You
kid.
better check on her. But there's some bad
Oh
people
no,
on
she
the
doesn't.
internet.
She's not on Facebook. She's not on Instagram or anything like that. She has she sends it like to her friends, and they don't put it on there. They're not on it either. I know
You
their
sure?
parents. Yeah.
An 11-year-old making a video at
Yeah.
1 o'clock in the morning, I'd be nosy. I'd be a very nosy mom. You know what I mean? I'd be all up in
No,
that
I'm
phone.
watching her. I see her. She's in the living room. She has her clothes on. I went in to
No,
charge my.
I
I'm on
don't
my
need that kind
landline.
of
I went
video,
in to
but
charge my.
she could
Sorry,
be innocent.
I don't know. I'm waiting for it. Listen, we went roller skating. Her and a friend. They were there for 5 hours. I was sitting there 4 hours, and that's where I was catching up on your show. So I was like, okay, well, sitting there. It was a long day, and I'm surprised she didn't pass out yet. Let alone me. All right.
Right.
No, I just had to charge my phone, so I feel bad. I'm not able to look at the chat, and I know that there are people in chat, but it was like I had to go and I put it in the house because my outside outlet for some reason wasn't working, and I wanted to read the chats because I don't want everybody to, you know, I like reading the chat, but
Right.
or the live stream. My daughter yells says it's not chat, it's called live stream. So there you go.
Well, it's still a chat.
But you were saying. Yeah, but you were saying with the bankruptcy, yeah, I do know because a few years ago, actually no, about 5 years ago, my sister's friend, we're in our 50s, and she had to go bankrupt. She decided to go, and she was afraid. But my sister and I were talking about that, and she said like they changed a lot of the laws. They always do, and she was speaking with her and said she wasn't sure to do it. But I said it's really, the way to do the best thing to do is to speak with a bankruptcy lawyer, and normally they'll tell you what you need to do is really down every single expense as opposed to what's coming in. What might not be or is, not coming in or be coming in. But that's why I feel for them. We all know about the younger generation with the college loans, whether it be their parents or them. See, I knew that back in the 80s. That's why, I paid for my own college for 2 years, and I worked a job.
They won't let
because
you file
I knew
bankruptcy
you
on
couldn't
college
go
loans.
bankrupt when you owe the IRS or the government. That's how it's designed. They make sure you can make a deal with them, but you can't throw them into bankruptcy.
Nope. Nor student loans.
So I don't know who should be accountable on that one as far as, I know we came from a time where to get a bank loan was, harder. And at one point, it made it easier to, I guess, get a bank loan. But you're dealing with young people, and I don't think they knew. I'm not saying all of them, but to sign something that's like 4 times more than an average mortgage. And I feel bad for the parents too that sign that, because I know they love their children, they want them to go to college, and and then and I think it's more of the structure, and we all know of our government, of that mentality of our government pushing, and I'm going to say our government, certain things in our government here, pushing, or the bankers, or whatever you want to say, like individuals within our government, to make that okay, to say, yeah, it's okay, make it easier for them to take out 150,000 or 200 or 3,000, 100,000, and well, don't worry, when you're done, like when you're done with college, you'll have a job and you'll be able to pay it. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? And I think that was not right. Not right at all.
Right.
I think it was like somewhere there was something sinister there, and I think a lot of people feel that way. And I do know friends that have children that went to college, and their kids actually signed that loan. And I'm like, and the way I feel about it, nah. Like, what gets me mad, and I'm going to get, not mad, I want to say, like, when that whole thing went back in the day when, Obama was like, or whoever, that, when they do big scam. with the banks.
Uh-huh.
I didn't. I was like, they got a lot of nerve. You know what I'm talking about? They got a lot of nerve, and that has a lot to do with hedge funds. So once again, these are inside traders. So, you know, heartless. I don't know how to put it. Heartless.
Oh,
But
yeah.
go ahead, Judy. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, talking about Enron and all that stuff when they were ripping everybody off.
Oh yeah, and well, they did it with the IT too during the 2000s because I worked with a job that I dealt with consulting. I didn't do outside consulting. I did inside sales, and I spoke with a lot of CEOs and HR directors and of companies, and it was when they were starting up the 401k plans, and I would sell them the materials and what they needed to teach their companies how to set up 401k plans and stuff because they this is during that Y2 thing around that era, and I even said to a friend, I was like, these 401k plans to me, as far as I'm concerned, all it is giving the bankers money to play roll the dice in Vegas.
Right.
And I still look at it like that till this day. I don't care what anybody says. You know, it's an inside trader. You know, so, but, you know, the company's cool and, you know, the people went for it, but, you know, I'm not saying they, you know, it depends on what company and what was invested. Some people had no choice and they'd have to go with the broker that the company had and they decide where to put the money. And then some people had a choice where they had a better job where they could pick where to put the money. But that was scary too, because one guy was putting it all in IT. Because the one job I didn't do any of that. I took my own money. I took my own money. In fact, I don't want to even get into that story. There's a long story with that, which was none of their business. So it was a long because they wanted to know how come I wasn't investing in nothing, not even their company, which kind of lost a lot of stock in themselves. But I even told them, listen, my husband and I, what we do with our money is our business. So I don't even understand why you're asking me how come I'm, like, they want to know why I wasn't investing in nothing, except for pay time off, because I take 3 weeks for the vacation, and I pay for the paid time off. I don't know if people know what I'm talking about, paid time off, which was great, you know, because I had the benefits underneath my husband at that time. This is like around 2000, but I was even a little bothered. My friend even said it, and she said, no, you said the right thing, because I said to them, it's none of your business that I'm not putting no money in your company or any other company. I said, I'm taking my extra money, and I'm putting it where I want to, you know, so, yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying I'm against but, you know, once again, it's a game. You might as well, which I've done. I've went to Vegas, actually won a couple thousand there. I've done Vegas on vacation, but that's what I said. To me, a 401k is like a Vegas roll.
Right.
That's how I look at it. And I'm not saying that I know a lot. There's a lot of people that know a lot more than I do in that area. It's the only reason why I know somewhat about it is because I sold materials about it and about acquisitions and about mergers and all that throughout the U.S. and worldwide. So I learned that one real quick.
Yeah, there's a
I'm
lot.
not looking at the chat, so if you want to look at the
There's
chat.
a lot of scams.
Yeah, because I apologize to everyone in the chat. It was just that I have my phone in the house that has to charge, so I'm not able to look at it until it charges a bit.
It's all right. Nobody's really saying anything. They're just listening.
Or leaving. I'm going to peek on my daughter. I think hopefully she's finally calming down there. Well, the way I look at it, Judy, I know. People are like, she's still awake, but you know, it is summer. And I'm going on vacay next week anyway.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. With the old man and my daughter.
Where are you going?
To Sinful Disney World, and then I'm going to do Vero Beach Disney Resort.
Oh, nice.
I think about Spence. Was it Spencer Rose? I like Spencer too. I mean, I like Spencer.
Yeah,
I think about him. Was he the
Spencer
one
is
talking
cool.
about with Disney?
He's my favorite debate partner.
I like Spencer. I really do. He's in Canada, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Spencer went fishing with Ozzy. Okay, so I have a, I know that you don't like the heavy metal, but I do like Ozzy. I do like Black Sabbath, and we grew up with listening to Ozzy, and hey, listen, I I don't know if I'd go fishing with Ozzy. I'd probably hang out and talk to him. If Ozzy said let's go fishing, I'd probably say no. And the only
Oh.
reason I say no is because I don't like the dragonflies on me.
I'd probably go fishing with anybody. I love fishing. That's a good time to talk to
Yeah,
people
my husband's
about.
very good. He likes to fit. Like he hasn't done it in years, but he's a good fisher. And he fishes, and he's taught my daughter how to fish,
It's a good
which
time to
is
talk to
good.
people about God while you're out there with nature and you have
Yeah,
nothing to do but cast your line. Except when the fish
yeah.
are
I've
biting
went
real hard.
fishing. It's not like I never went fishing. I've went fishing, and then you're right about that. And I think a few times, what it is, a few times I go fishing. Well, now I get better. It depends on the area and I love dragonflies. I have them in my backyard because I have a little marsh in the back.
Oh, so
I'll send you my full
you must be
backyard
talking
so
about
you'll understand
freshwater
what.
fishing with
But I
dragonflies.
don't like the dragonfly to land on me. You
Well,
know
then
what I
go
mean?
saltwater
I don't know.
fishing.
It's just me.
Go saltwater fishing then.
Yeah.
You won't be seeing all those dragonflies.
I just don't want the dragonfly. I hate to sound like that because I know people are like, oh, no, no, but, I'm just one of those people. I don't want the dragonfly. It could look at me. It could stare at me. It could fly by me. I just don't want it on me.
I've never had a dragonfly land on me.
Oh, I've had dragonflies land on me. And I've never hurt them. I just don't want them landing on me. And I'm one of those people, like, I get a little freaked when a bee comes by me, and I've had bees land on me. And I'm like, oh. And the weird thing is, when I was a child, and the phobias, I'll call it like a phobia. And I have a phobia with heights. And I didn't have these phobias as a child. I don't know if they, like, how or why they develop.
Well,
It's probably.
some of them probably because when we were children, we didn't have enough sense to be scared of some of the things. We didn't realize the dangers in them. And as we got older, we realized, oh, that could be dangerous. That could really hurt. That could put me out of work for 3 months. I better not do that.
But you're right, because I'm like, my friend even called me through the years the helicopter mom. And she's like, let your daughter just play. And I'm like, okay. So I have to remind myself, don't be a helicopter mom. Like I have to remind myself. I had her older, and like, well, like when she goes to try to climb a tree, I'm like, but I guess that's a mother thing, and where I'm coming from, and I'm like, oh no, she could fall. And then sometimes I'm questioning myself, like, should I say something? And then she gets mad, like, Ma, I know what I'm doing, Ma.
Right.
Oh, there's still awake over there, sitting down. Okay. I'm on my deck. I'm looking at her from my house. I was just hoping something, if there's something that you want to go through with the pictures, go ahead. And then when I'll have my phone charged just a little bit, and I could talk with you with it if you want to do that, because I don't want to take away from what you were trying to do.
Nah, I'm kind of winding down now.
Oh, okay, yeah. Do you have work tomorrow?
I'm supposed to work tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I don't want to keep you up real late.
But I don't know. I'm trying to get somebody to look at my car.
Is that the mechanics?
I'm trying to get anybody to look at it who knows anything about cars.
Oh my God! What is going on? Where are the mechanics?
Oh, they're around, but they want thousands of dollars.
It's the labor. It's the labor. But do you talk to them and try to make a deal? I mean,
I don't even want to talk about
like,
my car right now because it's just too depressing.
no, but I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm just saying, like, do you talk to them to, let them know your situation and
That's why
even say,
nobody
could
wants
I
to
pay
talk.
you ten
Look, I
bucks
can't even get people to
a
return my
week or
calls.
whatever?
I can't get them to return my calls. I can't get people to look at. I can't even get a ride to work. I
Oh,
can't get a ride
gee.
to the store. So,
What the
you
hell's
know,
wrong with people?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Do you
don't
know
know.
my father, well, he's 80 something. He's retired now. He still owns the business. He rents it out. It's not a gas station no more, though, but it's the same place. My father was a mechanic, and he owned a gas station. He still does, like a gas station for years. I grew up, in fact, later on, I grew up on top of the gas station. That's another story in itself. He had a house, and during the Carter era, um, we had to move, and that had to do with politics and what was going on during that Iran deal back then in the 70s. And so, because his dream was, and he bought some land, and he wanted to do real estate, but I won't get into my father's story or anything like that. But anyway, just to bring up that, I remember, my father, and my father's a good man. Um, through the years, people, when he would, and he had some men that would work underneath him, and we couldn't afford medical even back then. Okay, so it's 2019 now. It's totally ridiculous how the medical was doing okay when jobs are good, the medical thing will work, but when jobs are bad, or the economics kind of work. But anyway, and he had mechanics, but I remember people to get their car fixed. And it should go back to these type of times, I feel. Even back in the day, in the 70s, as a child, I remember my mother used to say, oh, they couldn't give you money, but he says, this is what they could give me. So if it was like the baker or the butcher, if the butcher needed his car fixed, he would offer meat. You know what I mean? It was bartering. You know
Right.
what I mean? And I think that's what that's called, bartering. And my father used to do that with them because he understood. But he used to say, well, they need a car. They got to get to work. So that's how that worked. Or like there was somebody that owned a catering. They'd offer free catering because it was easier than paying the money. But it's the exact, the labor. But that's what I'm just saying. Like, I'm not saying doing it bad. Like, but I don't know what happened to that. Like, where exactly you're saying you're calling these mechanics, what the hell's going on? There's nobody out there that could, you could just say, listen, I'm struggling a bit, but I'm willing to pay you or put a little bit that, I don't get it.
Everybody wants to make what they want to make. And they don't want to take on a job that's going to take a day and a half to do unless they can get it.
I mean, have you met anyone in person? I think if they met you, you're a nice person.
Yes,
To
I've met
see like
people in person.
how good of
Yeah,
a
I told you I
person
don't
you
want to
are.
talk about it. I'm too upset about it to talk about it. I'm trying to take my mind off of it. It's very frustrating at this point, and I'm trying not to think about it because I was out there stranded all day
Yeah.
today again, and I don't want to think about it. I missed a whole day. Today should have been a 12-hour shift, and I couldn't get it. So.
Yeah, but I'm just bringing that up. I'm not trying to make it depressed. I'm just
I
saying,
know.
like,
I just don't
how
want to talk. I'm trying not
times
to think
might be a
about
little
it.
bit different with people with the thinking, and they better get that compassion a little bit back in them.
Yeah,
That's how I feel.
there ain't a whole lot of that in Virginia Beach.
Yeah. I don't know. And I just know through the years I had friends where they were rolled, so be careful. They, like you were saying, they were rolled by some mechanics or some places where, like,
Can we talk about
I
something
think it
besides
was
mechanics and
when you were
cars, please?
something about something being. Oh, I apologize. Okay, I got a ton of moths out here. I'm waiting for that phone because I want to look through the pictures that you had. All right. Oh, what I wanted to bring up is the pictures that I was sending you. What do I need to put? Like, I give you permission to use my pictures in in the email?
These pictures belong to me, and yeah, you have permission to use them.
And what I'll do is I'll send you a picture of me in my backyard, so you'll see it's my backyard and the trees. Even double proof that.
You don't
Okay.
have to. You don't have to do all that. Just you have to state they're yours.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how it works on this YouTube. Like, I hear people, and I know you were saying something with Mike, and like, I don't know how it works. I don't. Like, I do hear people talking about whether it be censorship or all that, but I don't. I don't have a YouTube channel. And there was a woman that wanted to see the picture, but I didn't mention you. I was just like, okay, let me see, because I told her I don't have a YouTube station, so I said, if you like, you could give me your email. But I do understand how it is. She don't know who I am, and vice versa. Even though I saw her YouTube station, looked like a nice person. I think she was from Canada, but she had sent me back the Gmail or whatever and said, oh, I don't give my email out. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm like, oh, okay. But I didn't mention, I said, let me, and I even told her, I'll get back to you if I could find a station that will be able to post it to see what I'm speaking of. Because she wanted to see it. And I don't even know if she's going to see what I see. I don't even know if you see what I see. You know what I mean?
Another bad accident. The
Oh,
drunks
Lord.
are on the
Is
road.
this ham radio that it's a ham radio, right?
Right.
Where does it pick up? Like throughout the U.S. or your area?
No, I can pick up other countries.
Oh, really? I'm gonna get. I don't know if we even have one in our garage. I'm gonna ask my husband if we have a ham radio. You make me want to get one. Is it like what the truckers used to use back in the day? What they call CB radio?
No, it's different than that now.
Oh, all right. You could tell how untechnical suave I am.
I used to like those CB radios. Those used to be fun.
I had a
Breaker
CB
Breaker
radio back in
19.
the day. Yeah, I did. We actually had, because I have an older brother also, and he wanted one in the 70s, so he did, and they had that. If you remember, I forgot the album, and it probably had a lot to do with Smokey and the Bear. Is it or is Smokey and the Bandit? I'm not saying Smokey and the Bear. Smokey and the Bandit, and there was that. There was an LP or an album that was in which we had Breaker Breaker and all that, and that was my older brother, and he wanted a CB radio, and I just remember that, and us kids being on that radio, and I remember the truckers back then kind of getting mad, going, "Get off the radio, you kid! Like, get off!" Like, yelling at us, like, "You don't belong here," because we were kids. I just remember that, like, stop wasting space. Yeah, my friend that passed away, that I grew up with, Cindy was her name. Her father was a truck driver. And I remember years ago when I would meet people that were truck drivers, they all knew him. They all knew him. You know, so there was a community with truck drivers.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of respect for him. He was a good man. God rest his soul. Yeah.
I used to want to be a truck driver. I thought it'd be fun to travel the country and get paid for it, but
Well,
and I used to love to shift
it's too late,
gears.
Judy.
I used to love to shift gears, so I thought it would be fun, but people tell me it's really hard on your knees if you have bad knees. So, and then I seen a semi when I was young burn out its brakes coming down the mountain, and then I was on the phone with a friend of mine that moved to Tennessee, and she was a nurse, an RN, and she was a captain in the Army Reserve. Anyway, she got married and she moved to Tennessee, and we were on the phone one day. And while we were on the phone, she seen a semi go off the mountain, and she said there were signs up there warning people how many trucks have gone off the mountain over the years, and she watched one go off right then while we were on the phone. And I'm like, yeah, okay, maybe I don't want to drive a semi, especially in mountains. I'm like, so it would have to be pretty much local driving. Well, I mean, could go down 85 and 95 and up, 64, but, you know, I wouldn't want to do the mountains. Definitely not in the mountains in a semi. And I wouldn't want to be driving them on ice, and then, you know, the company wants you to get the delivery there no matter what the road conditions are. Because I had a semi almost slam into the back of me because it was a snowstorm that had started in North Carolina. I was coming back from Georgia, and it was a snowstorm. And anyway, the roads, apparently there was a sheet of ice underneath the little bit of snow that had fallen, and four cars in front of me had spun out, so the road's blocked because all these cars had hit the ice patch, and they all spun out. And the semi was going too fast. I had enough distance, no problem to stop, right? Because I keep enough distance, and based on the conditions of the road. And so I stopped fine, plenty of room. And this semi is coming up behind me too fast and can't stop. So he jackknifes all across the road to keep from hitting me, but he almost creamed me. And I'm like, yeah, probably because he's in a hurry to get that delivery somewhere. He's driving way too fast on icy roads. I got on the first exit I could off of there, and I went and got a hotel room. I'm like, I'm not even trying. And I wasn't that far from the Virginia line then, but I'm like, forget it. I was listening to the police center, and there was 270 accidents already on that in the little tri-state area on the interstate. I'm like, nope, that's it for me. So I got off the interstate, and then I'm going parallel, but in the opposite direction, trying to get back to Henderson, North Carolina, where I know they got some hotels. So I'm on Route 1, and the road was so icy on Route 1, I got two tires in the grass and two tires on the road because it's like, an incline. And so
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it up an icy incline to get, back to this little town, well, Henderson, so I could get a hotel room. And so I got two tires on the grass just trying to get some, better traction. And I finally get to Henderson, and I'm on shorts and a tank top and flip flops because when I had left Virginia, it was 70 some degrees and it was 75 where I was going. But coming back, a whole nother story. So anyway, I get to the first hotel and they tell me they won't take cash. And I'm like, what do you mean you won't take cash? I just walked in here in flip flops in the snow. I can't get home because the interstates are all, the state troopers are telling people to stay off the road. It's just so ridiculous that so many accidents. And well, we don't take cash after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, well, that's stupid. So I ended up leaving that hotel, and I went to the next hotel. When I went in there, I said, look, if you tell me you're not taking cash, I'm staying right here in your lobby. I'm not going back to my car in flip-flops and sitting in my car in the snow. I have cash. And he's like, we'll take cash. I'm like, all right, cool. But anyway, that changed my mind on wanting to drive a semi. And now they got those driverless semis.
Oh God, that whole lift incident.
Which is ridiculous.
I apologize. I'm in my house. I'm trying to get her to bed, but I am listening. What? I'm on the phone, Abby. What, honey?
Hi, Kevin. Yeah, I bet they don't. Some of the companies have those governors on them, so they can't drive more than 60 miles per hour.
Did you make the ramen noodle? Did you want that, Abby? I'm sorry. Hold on, Judy. I apologize. I need a second. Hold on. Did you have that?
You're fine.
Did you make it? You got to go to bed. It's really late. You got to go to bed. Wait, this child. Oh my God. Oh, she's passed out at this time. I apologize. Hold on. Hold on, Judy. I apologize. It's going to take a second. Hold on, okay?
I'm not showing any prior on the address this time.
If you want, are you tired, Judy? You want me to hang up?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go to bed in a minute.
Yeah, you sound tired. I got to get her to bed.
I'm
apologize. I
emotionally
didn't get to really
exhausted
look
today.
at. I gotta get this one to bed here. She's like, oh. Okay, hon. Then I'll be call tomorrow or whatever. Hopefully other people will call in. And what I'll do is I'll send you, I have a few pictures I want to send you, and what I'll do is when I email it, I'll put, you know, the permission to use these are my photos.
Okay.
Okay, hon.
All right.
I'm dealing with an 11-year-old here. Okay.
God bless you.
All right. God bless, hon.
All right.
And everybody have a nice night. Okay. I love you guys.
All right. We
All
love
right.
you too.
All right.
All right,
See you then.
Suzanne.
All right. All right. God bless.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Have a blessed night, Griffin and Kevin. Oh. Oh, hey, Rose. A 5.6 near the coast of California, really? Ooh, that's not good. I seen Kansas. I think it was Kansas had a couple of earthquakes last night in spots that they don't normally get them. How deep was the earthquake in California?
Copy 325. Yes, 28 and out. Copy. Somebody advised they spoke with the key holder to say that they were out of state and no one should be at the residence. I want to wait.
Yeah. 1 hour ago. Responses contribute. They've had 14 earthquakes in the last 24 hours. Wow. Yeah, Rose, that's fine. You can put the links up. Fox News is calling it Swarmageddon of 1,000 earthquakes hit Southern California. Yeah, 5.6 earthquake. 5 kilometers off the Carolina coast. And hopefully that's the strongest one they'll get. Thank you, Rose. Suzanne, it was a pleasure as always. We love you. God bless you. Yeah, it's 1:12 a.m. Oh, wow. Well, we hope they don't, they've had a lot of earthquakes here lately. Not real strong ones, but a 6.7 might be coming. Latest earthquakes in California, past 7 days. Moderate shaking. Wow. There aren't any tsunami warnings with it, is there? I mean, it said it was 5 kilometers off the shore, but it didn't say how deep it was. Well, they had 8.2. Oh, yeah. Seven. Ah, gracious. Wow. Oh, hey, Dirty. Yeah, Rose was just talking about, the earthquakes. Oklahoma. Not much. Oh, not as much now.
Towards South Pleasant Trail.
Crack down on the fracking, yeah. Hello, can you hear us, Dirty? I think we're home. Can you hear us? Oh, we got some more warnings. Where is a tornado? For Kansas and Oklahoma. Tomorrow night, Monte, 2. Truck, be there. Huh? Oh, welcome back, Rose. Oh, monster truck. Thingamajig. Okay. What were you trying to talk into a text on your phone and it typed it in the chat room instead? Oh, there's another warning. And it is for Texas. For Collingsworth, Donnelly, Gray, and Wheeler again. That area gets bombarded. I would be surprised if they had major flooding as much as they get beat up. There's an echo? Really? No sound? Rose, can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? Is there no sound? Let me check. Oh, there should be sound. Definitely should be sound. Testing 1, 2, 3. This has been a test of your emergency broadcast system. Had there been an actual emergency, cat stealing your... Let me see if I got sound here. I have sound here. Well, I did have sound here. Hello? Yeah, I've got sound here. Hello? Yeah, I've got sound. Hello? Yeah, I've got sound. Hello? Yeah, I've got sound. I need to cut that thing down so it stops echoing. Yeah, I've got sound. Oh, oh, it's a marine advisory. Okay, well, actually, I'm getting ready to go to bed anyway. Ham and cheese, alright. You on a diet? An idiot accidentally hot. Oh, hit mute. Oh, hey, I've done it too.
549.
I've done all kinds of silly
I'm going to send
things,
you a message. Just wanted to make sure
especially
you
when
were
I was
near your
busy
vehicle.
doing other stuff. Anyway, I think I'm gonna bid farewell for the morning and pray that everyone has a blessed day. And there's another warning. I need to cut that thing off too. Hey, I've done the same thing. I've hit mute by accident.
Approach 441, X-ray routine check.
Matter of fact, the other day I did a video on some breaking news, right? And I had the first report of it and everything else, like blah blah blah. I got up there and did the 15-20 minute video and never cut the microphone on. So then I think it was Discernment Files did a video on it later on, and he was saying blase blase, and I'm like, yeah, I know, I did a video on it already a couple of hours ago and reported on that the guy had been on Facebook showing his ammunition and his rifle and stuff and saying that there was a storm coming before he went and shot at the federal building. But anyway, I went back and played my video and I never had cut the microphone on, so I did a whole 20-minute news thing and made no sound at all. But I had cut the mic off because I had a a private phone call, and so I had cut the mic off for that, and but God, I had cut it off and went and did the live breaking news story with no sound. And by the time I realized it, it wasn't live breaking news anymore. So we all have made mistakes like that. All right, y'all. I'm gonna close out so I can say my prayers and try to get some sleep. So may everyone have a blessed rest, and may everyone know the peace beyond understanding that comes with knowing the love of God and Yeshua and the Holy Spirit. No, I'm not bawling. Oh, I'm bailing, yes. Yeah. Yep, I'm bailing. I got a lot on my mind and a lot to sort out, so I'm not really focused anymore, and I'm tired. I appreciate y'all coming in, and maybe tomorrow we'll get back on topic. I have time to get some of these other pictures and videos together. No, I wasn't praying. I was saying um, got off the hamster wheel. You're funny. Oh, I got you. Yeah, so I'm gonna listen to some Chuck Missler or some other preacher and fall asleep. And we'll have a show or two tomorrow. You have a wonderful weekend too. God bless everyone, and thank you for coming in. And Holy Father, in the name of Jesus, Yeshua, the Messiah, our precious Savior, that you were so gracious to bless us with, we thank you. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you for the ability to be forgiven of our sins and all the evilness that's in this world. We ask that you guide us and allow our mouths to speak your words, allow our hands to do the actions that you want done, and may your will be done through us. And may you touch everyone's soul, knock on their hearts, knock on top of their hard heads, whatever. Let them know that you're real, you're there. We thank you for all your beautiful and lovely creations, and we thank you for your patience and understanding with human beings. We love you in the name of Yeshua, Jesus, our Savior. Amen. Good night, y'all. God bless. Thank you. Sorry, I'm a little tired now, a little out of it. God bless you, and thank you for being here. And maybe some more of the regulars. We'll be here tomorrow night if I don't start. So I started kind of late tonight. I don't know why. I was here. I just started late. But anyway, thank you, and God bless you. And hopefully, God willing, see you tomorrow or later today.